Hey, everybody. I am in the editing suite, also known as my office, and I was listening back to some of the stuff Brittany and I talked about today. If you're sensitive, you might not want to listen to it. We get pretty real on a lot of things. Politics. I don't think we got into religion hard, but we definitely talked about it. And there's a lot of foul language. So if that's not for you, maybe just skip to the next episode. If it is for you, let's have fun. I think it's about an hour and 10 minutes, and we really get into things. So enjoy the show. Hello, friends, family, strangers, weird people. You found your podcast. Okay, this is Ryan Hall, and that's Brittany Hall, and this is the Revenue Agency Podcast. Sometimes we talk about business, sometimes we talk about bullshit. You just never know.
And for people who are just audio only, when Ryan said, that's Brittany, for the people who are on video, hello, I am Brittany Hall, and co-owner, founder of the Revenue Agency with my husband, Ryan. And yeah, it's funny. Ryan and I get into conversations and then we're like, oh no, but we're supposed to talk about business, because it's a business podcast. But the thing is that when you're in business for yourself, business is life and life is business, right? Like it all bleeds together. So I was actually, for people on video, I was just talking to Ryan about my teeth. I went to the dentist this morning and they paint this stuff on your teeth so they can see like the spots that maybe there's more bacteria or that you need to brush better or whatever. By the way, I have excellent oral hygiene for all of those people out there. I do think that's very important. You should not do business with people who are dirty, that have like bad hygiene. If somebody's got freaking dirty ass teeth, like how are they going to take care of you as a client if they can't even brush their teeth? That should be a slogan, Rye. You think?
Maybe we need to have Cassie add that to our website. We have
Yeah.
clean teeth at the
Yeah.
Revenue Agency.
We shower daily. We have great hygiene and we brush our teeth 2 times a day and go to the dentist every 6 months for cleanings. But yeah, my gums are like, because they paint this blue stuff on it and blue and red makes purple. Do you remember that from art class, right?
No, I'm terrible with colors.
So my gums, they look like the fake gums that you buy like in the store to like for Halloween to like put over your teeth, like with fangs. Except this would be a nice set of like dentures.
Nice set of chompers.
I know they look fake, I think. I don't know. It's kind of weirding me out. But that's what's happening. And then I told Ryan too, I have veneers on my front 6 teeth. I'm not shy about things like this. And I've had them for 20 years. And the dentist today told me that they tell people if you get 10 years out of veneers, then you're doing great. I was like, my freaking dentist must have been an effing all-star. Shout out to Dr. Panay Ramon in Salem, Oregon.
Yeah, you got 20 years on those things now.
I got 20 years on these bad boys, and they're in for the good fight. So that's that.
For our audio people, she keeps like smiling really big and like looking at her teeth. She looks like a freaking weirdo. Gosh, dang.
Welcome to working with your spouse. The other thing, though, that is an option, because I was worried that my gums were receding, and then we'll move on from this topic, is that I could just get Botox put in my lip so my lip doesn't lift up. That's an option.
Yeah, but you did that one time and it was weird because you try to take a drink of something and you dribble down your face. It was stupid.
I couldn't, you guys, because they don't tell you that Botox deadens the muscle. So like the muscle doesn't have any motion. So, it doesn't create lines and wrinkles and things. And she put some in my lips. And so then what I didn't realize is that I had no control over like lifting my lip up. So what it does for our, instead of having to smile like this where you can see my gums, it would be like this, which probably looks nicer from a teeth perspective. But I would take a drink and I was like, I had to put the straw really far back in my mouth because I couldn't hold liquid with my lips. And same, I'd be brushing my teeth at night and I would put water in my mouth because I'm a teeth brusher, plug for working with teeth brushers. Water would spurt out of my mouth. And Ryan was like, this is fucking ridiculous. He's like, don't ever do that again.
No. I think it's dumb.
It's dumb. But Botox in the face is fine, just not in the lips.
Your
Maybe I should get filler like
very, very smooth, by the way.
Yeah, I got that shit shot up 2 days ago. Yeah,
Are we
looking
recording? Is
smooth.
this a real podcast?
This is a real podcast. This is. So in the world of hauls, Ryan, like what's up with you? What's on your thing today? Ryan was doing a lot of work on his phone earlier. Ryan, do you want to tell everybody what you were doing?
I cleared out about 400 contacts.
Right. So most people are like, you want lots of phone numbers, you want lots of emails. Ryan's like, I'm deleting these mother effers. I don't want them in my
I don't
phone.
need them in my life. I
I
don't
don't
want
need
them.
it. He tells me today, he goes, if they have an Oregon number, they're out.
Sorry.
He's
They're
like, I'm
gone.
done with them. That's a joke for all of our Oregon friends, but it was kind of funny. He was working on that because really, okay, so this is kind of in the business thing. So, the revenue agency, really any business, you never take your foot off the gas. You're always working on building, you're always working on reaching out to people, all this stuff. And so we've just been going through our contacts and like, hey, who have we not connected with in a while? Who could we add value to? Who is a great relationship? Who's somebody that we could just reach out to? So Brian and I were working on that this morning. And some people are just fucking bizarre, aren't they? I had one person respond to me. I'm just going to say it. I don't give a shit. Can we just be unplugged? Who gives a shit? I can't get sued for a podcast. Maybe I can. I don't know. But it was a company that we worked with, and it was a
Previously,
client.
that will remain nameless.
Yes, previously that, yeah. And this is a gal that I have on my phone that I had conversations with. It's like she's in my personal cell phone. And I reach out and I'm like, hey, like, how's everything going with you guys? How's your business? This is what we're up to. And she was like, do they know that you're reaching out to their clients? I go, I don't know who the fuck their clients are. Like, what? Like, what an odd response. So, I mean, and then everybody else is like totally normal. So it's like you get 1 out of 100, fucking Looney Tune, and that just happens. But um, really, I guess the takeaway from that is that you got to be always reaching out to people. Like you got to keep the fire going. You got to keep it stoked. You got to keep your pipeline full. Like you always need to be talking to people because anytime that we feel a lull in our business, Ryan and I are like, okay, I guess we're not talking to enough people. And then we brainstorm like, okay, who can we be talking to? Where can we find more people? Who do we know that we're not thinking of? And that's just a great thing for people to be doing in general in their businesses is like always making those connections. And then I had here's the flip side of that too, because you run into a fucking Looney Tune. And then on the flip side of that, somebody else just was like, boom, called me and we're going to do a deal. He's like, I need 10 days. And then we're going to close the deal together. So that's amazing. So for all the good or for all the bad, there's also good, right?
Well, and I think as people, we tend to dwell on the 1 of 100. I've heard comedians talk about that. That's everybody's giving them a standing ovation, but there's one person that's sitting down, and that's the one they focus on. So this is a good reminder to don't worry about the weirdos, right?
No, like here's another like a thought for people. Why would you ever use your energy to like put somebody down or make them feel bad? Like I and Rye, because we've been together over 17 years. So you've seen so many things throughout the years. People can be fucking dicks to me. And I'm seriously I'm a straight shooter, but like I'm a really like kind person to people. I'm a team player. I'm not mean. I'm not bitchy. Like I'm a hard worker, but it's like, and it's women. It's fucking women that they can just be such bitches about the stupidest shit. Like, here's a random story. One time I remember I have to go to a softball meeting, and this was back in Oregon, and I wore a coat because when the sun goes down in like the spring, it gets really cold. And also I get really cold. Like I just as a person, like I get really cold. And so I wore like a really thin, like kind of a down jacket and I put it on and then it got really cold. And she's like, oh, I thought you were a total nerd for bringing that. And it was like, why the fuck would you even say that to somebody?
And this
like,
wasn't
what is
like
the point of that?
Like a cool gal with like a really awesome outfit.
No.
It was like, you're boring.
It was like, you have brown hair. Like, what the fuck? And that's a joke. That's a personal joke. I don't hate Ryan has brown hair. I don't mind it. Like my best friend has brown hair. My mom has brown hair. I just have a joke that like, blondes don't actually say shit like that to people. It's always a fucking brunette that's going to be a bitch.
This might be our best
If it's anybody, it's going to be a fucking brunette. But I think that gal that was a bitch to me this morning, does have blonde hair. So I might have to
Reconsider your theory.
yeah, I need to reconsider my theory. She's the outlier, okay? 99% of the time it's a brunette. And I've even discussed this with my hairdresser and she was like, "You know what? This gal was a bitch to me the other day and she had brown hair." So brunettes, you've got some work to do. You've got some work to do. Like on yourself. You need to be nicer.
Okay, so why is it that women get so bitchy and catty, and I don't know if it's competitive or like marking their territory or whatever with women, and then men seem like they want to tell you how much they know, and it's like, you're dumb. You don't know that.
You're dumb.
You're dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it probably all comes down to ego, I would think. And then
Insecurities.
it comes out. Yeah. Because the ego wants to protect us. Right. And so it just comes out in different way, depending on like maybe masculine or feminine energy. It does seem like men definitely always have something to prove, that they need to prove that they're right, that they're tough, that they make money, that they do this, that they do that. Um, I can be a little bit like that, but I also like for a woman, I'm probably like masculine energy dominant. I'm not super soft on some things, but with women, it's like they're just fucking bitchy and judgy. Like, what is that? I mean, not all, this is not a like across the board thing, but it's patterns that I've noticed is that women are like, "You were supposed to do that," or "Are you sure you should be doing that?" It's like, you're fucking boring. Like, you suck. Like, that person, I guarantee that person at a party is like the most boring bitch sitting in the corner. Like, I've known so many women like that, and I've been at parties with women like that, and I'm like, you're not fun at all.
Y'all suck.
Y'all suck. Yeah, y'all suck. Like, that lady who said that to me today, I'm like, the fuck is your problem? Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, I would never respond to somebody like that. Okay, I've been mean once. Remember, Rye? That guy that like DM'd me some cold DM, and he was trying to like,
Oh, yeah.
here's the deal. When it's like on a personal level, I'm nice. I'm like, "Oh, hey, girl, like, respect the hustle. Like, good luck. Like, I'm not interested." Like, I'm always nice like that. But this guy was like coming at me to promote his business.
Well, it was a cold
And
message. You don't know him.
it was a
You've
cold
never
message.
met
I
him.
don't know him. And he like said some bullshit. And I was just not into it that day. And I go, "Dude, like, you're literally selling a service about how to close people through their DMs and you're hitting me in my DMs. I cannot imagine that this shit actually works." And which is rude for sure.
Or
Right.
honest.
Yeah. But whenever a
It was
woman's
bad, though.
honest,
It
it's like,
wasn't,
you're a bitch. I know it's
it was
bad. It was
bad.
bad. And so I like gave him some feedback. And then, do you know what's so crazy? And I have this all on message. So it's like proof that he said, he was like, he goes, "You were right." Cause he messaged me again later, like a month or two later. And I was like, "Hey, I apologize." I go, "Dude, I was a dick. Like, I'm sorry. That was rude. Like, I've never actually come at somebody like that." And he's like, "No, actually, you were right. I had to go back." He goes, "I changed my messaging. And because of the feedback that you gave me, I made $93,000 last month." I was like, "Fuck yeah, bro. Can I get that in a testimonial?"
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
What was the testimonial? Brittany was mean to me, and I
Yeah,
closed
Brittany
almost
was
six
mean to
figures.
me. So I changed my method and made $93,000 in a month.
That's why I
So
think you should be honest.
I know this is actually probably the most fun I've ever had doing a podcast because we're just being like, this is me 100% authentically myself. Would you
Yeah.
agree? And
See,
usually I'm trying to be all polished and shit.
isn't she a lot?
I don't like that either. Do you know what?
Hey, I
Because
like it. I
I know
like it.
I'm not too much for you. Maybe I'm too much for some of these other motherfuckers. But
Some
I
weak
saw
ass bitches.
something, some weak ass bitches. That's why I married a strong man who's like, "Go shine, girl. Like, you're awesome. Go be you." But I like that, those little sayings, those little graphics that float around on Instagram. It's like, "I'm too much, then go find less."
That's pretty funny.
I know it is funny, right? Yeah. I'm not for everyone, but I don't like a lot of people. So good.
Well, there's not that many people that are likable. Let's be honest.
Yeah. All
Y'all
this
have dirty
fucking
teeth.
and brown hair. Fuck you.
Now this is a podcast.
Now this is some funny shit. You guys want to know also a funny fact, because I do kind of have a mouth on me. I was back in Oregon for a funeral this last April, and I just went by myself because it was like for 2 nights. And I was like a 12-year-old riding around in the backseat of my parents' car, and I'm like going off about something. And my dad's like, "Do you really have to cuss so much?" And I'm like, "Dad, I'm 38 years old. Like, I think that this is it, you know?" Because I've always kind of had a mouth on me. I've always kind of said what I thought. I didn't cuss at a young age, but I remember, I think the first time I said fuck in front of my parents, I was like 21 years old, and they didn't say anything. And I was like, all right, like, here we go. Like, game on, Padre. So yeah, it was kind of funny. But so I have quite mouth on me, which I probably should work on that. Ryan doesn't really cuss a whole lot. Ryan doesn't say the F word. Tell me about that though, Ryan, because that's kind of an interesting life choice.
I don't know. I've got mental problems.
Where'd that come from though? Like not saying the F word.
Not saying the F word? I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I just made a decision a long time ago.
You used to say it. I've heard you say it twice.
Yes.
And once it was in a
Yes.
It was in a sexual way. And then the other time you were telling a guy, keep your fucking opinions to yourself.
Yes.
That was when a guy attacked Ryan verbally at the post office for not wearing a mask.
Well, he was wearing a mask and he had a beard and he was a liberal, obviously.
Yeah.
And
this guy was a total piece of shit. I wanted to track him around town and like freaking key his car. I didn't, but I wanted to.
And this is back in the COVID days, and I'd had enough, and I was completely anti-mask. I didn't wear a mask ever.
No.
Because I didn't care. It's like if I need to leave your store because I'm not wearing a mask, I'll just leave. I don't care.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
I'll keep my money.
Yeah, I'll keep my money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, this guy, I go into the post office because we had a P.O. box, and I go into the post office and I get my mail, and he's got some kind of an attitude, and he says some bullshit to me, and I was not having it that day.
No.
And so him and I got in a little verbal altercation.
And then me and our children, who were toddlers at the time, they're like little kids. I think Ava was maybe like 9 or 8, and Rory was 2 years younger than that, so like 6. And he proceeds to come outside, follow Ryan outside, flip us off, me and my children in the car, and go, "Fuck you." And it's like, and you think that anybody would want to do what the hell you're doing? Like, you're an asshole. Like, who would want to be a part of that? I'm like, some of y'all, like liberal Democrats, whatever, like you need to like check yourself with like these people that you say that we're all a part of that group. Like, I'd maybe like shift to the right a little bit, at least. Like, good Lord, these people are crazy.
But at that point, I mean, COVID was pretty wacky, and we were in Oregon, so it was the mecca of stupidity.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. And people that I like that were like crazy. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, get it together. Yeah, that was an interesting time. Right. We're going to go there because I've already said some shit and probably offended half the brunette population. For anybody who listens to this, I'm really going to promote this podcast though, because I know that we've got some of our friends that are going to be like, that shit was hilarious. When's the next one?
I can only imagine what you're going to ask me to go in on.
No. Okay. So you guys, Ryan is really smart on a lot of topics. I'm more like, I just have opinions about shit, but I'm not really, I don't really like to research a lot of stuff, but I'm curious, Ryan, about this whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, because I've seen so many people posting about this where they're like, our freedom of speech is being censored. But I'm like, I don't think this is a government issue. I don't think the government got him fired. I think that when you are employed by a certain company that sells either advertising or the public, right? The public, the customer says, we don't effing like what this guy's doing and we are going to leave. That's still the power of the people. That's not the government. So I'm really confused on why all these people are saying that this is censorship and it's First Amendment rights and all this stuff are being whatever. When he literally used his platform that he gets paid to be a part of to say his opinion, and then he got backlash on his opinion. I just don't, in your opinion, is this a First Amendment issue?
No, it's not a First Amendment issue. It is
do you think a government agency got involved? Because I've seen people saying that, like the FCC or something.
Well,
Okay.
according to the um, Speaker of the House the other day, yesterday, I saw it on the news.
Yeah.
He said that they didn't have anything to do with it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So um, I was just looking up on Twitter. This I'm going to quote this in a second. In my opinion, okay, it wasn't even ABC Broadcasting who was doing it. There's affiliates for TV, right? Like Dallas is an affiliate,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
Dallas has the ability to broadcast ABC stuff, blah blah blah. It's a
Yeah.
private company that owns it, and so a bunch of the affiliates of ABC decided they didn't want to broadcast their bullshit, and there were so many of them. This Jimmy Kimmel, there was so many of them that didn't want to broadcast it that they said we're not going to do that. And so ABC was like, oh, okay, well, there's so many people that pay us to have our programming that we're just going to get rid of this guy because we can't have that because
Well,
those
they
are
were like,
our,
we're going to pull that show
we're going
from
to
our
pull that.
network.
Yeah, we're going to pull that
Yeah.
show off the network because it's like, this isn't a number, but I think it was like 58 affiliates or something like that. So imagine all these markets over the country, and there's 58 or however many of them, don't quote the number. We're like, we're not going to do it. We're going to do our own shit. So forget it. And we're not paying you. And so we have spoken. The
Yeah.
private business owners that own that affiliate. And so ABC made the decision we're going to take Jimmy Kimmel down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the
So
thing too. It
that's
all
not a
comes
free
back to
speech.
money.
A free speech thing would be the
If he was
FCC
imprisoned,
or the government getting involved and saying you're not allowed to say that on a public airway because that's what it is. ABC is public broadcasting, right? It's not owned by anybody really. It's like cable. They can say whatever the hell they want. Like they can swear and show nudity and whatever they want. They don't because they want larger sponsors, like people who advertise. They want a wider audience, so they don't. But they can do whatever they want, basically. Not
yeah.
to a point, right? They can't show like really, really graphic stuff. But
Yeah.
on broadcast, you can't do that because it's a public airwaves. Okay, so
See, Ryan's so smart, you guys. See, he's so good at this. He
this is
knows
what I
all these
found on
things.
Breitbart News the other day. This is good. From Breitbart, 19 hours ago on Twitter. No one banned Jimmy Kimmel from every major social media app. That happened to Donald Trump.
Yep.
No one conspired to put Jimmy Kimmel in jail. That happened to Donald Trump. No one fired a bullet at Jimmy Kimmel. That happened to Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk, who
Yep.
was killed.
Murdered.
And what happened to Jimmy Kimmel is that his corporate employer, who is private people, corporations are just people, right? Made up a bunch of people. What happened to Kimmel is that his corporate employer decided he was no longer a profitable figurehead for its product, distributed over the public airwaves. That's it. So
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with free speech.
It has nothing to do with
Jimmy
the
Kimmel,
Constitution.
Jimmy Kimmel can say whatever the hell he wants, but if that has consequences, he has to accept those consequences.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, people say bullshit we don't support them. That's it. That's all this is on a really big scale. A bunch of people said we don't want his shit on our networks, on our airwaves. So we don't want him. You can keep him. And it was so many of them that ABC said, shit, okay, we're getting rid of him. Just kidding. We're going to put something else on that y'all like and you'll pay us for. Because otherwise they're broke. They're out of business. Okay? That's what that is. It's not freedom of speech. Jimmy Kimmel could go on Twitter and say whatever the hell he wants, but he's been silent because he can't defend. He would never go out like Charlie Kirk and debate anyone on any of his ideas because his ideas are nonsense.
Yeah. He probably doesn't even have the facts to actually back his shit up. Like Charlie Kirk was really smart. He was like well read. He was researched. He, really prepared before he would go and speak to these, kids and stuff on these college campuses.
And I really believed, I don't know everything Charlie Kirk believed, but him and I seem to be pretty well aligned, right?
Mm-hmm.
That aside, you can't take away, he was kind. He was great to go work with those young students, right? And debate them. And even if you don't agree with him, you have to admit that he was very well versed in everything that he spoke about.
Yeah. And he would too, like he wouldn't try because of somebody's like opinion or what they thought. He would not just like name call them. Like he wouldn't be like, you're an idiot or you're a bigot or you're a this or you're a fascist. Like that's what I see from the other side, and we've been the recipients of it.
We've
Like
witnessed it firsthand.
firsthand in our tiny little town that we're from. There was we did a big flag wave during COVID when things were shut down because and it was like election season. We just wanted to bring like that American patriot spirit to our community. There was no Donald Trump flags. There was no like Southern, what is that? The Confederate flag. There was none of that shit that somebody could have viewed as like anything.
Only United
Only the
States
American
flags.
flag. And I will stand by it to my freaking last day that the American flag is the most inclusive flag you could ever fly because it literally is for everybody. And we did a flag wave and people took pictures of me and tried to turn them into somebody it was a past employer, but they didn't know that I didn't work there anymore and try to get me fired for waving an American flag saying that I'm racist and that they were trying to get me fired from my job. Now, how can those same people now go, this guy's constitutional rights are being violated? I just think these people are idiots and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't understand the Constitution. They don't understand the situation. And everybody is so freaking bold to go post on social media. But the thing is they look like a bunch of fucking idiots to anybody that knows anything. But it's like also like, this is what really drives me crazy about this shit is that it's so like, it's not like a moral standard or like a certain ethics or value code that you have because it's like if what these people do is if it happens to our party and Republicans and right-wing people are they're guilty of it too. So this is just people. But they're like, if it happens to our side, then we're going to retaliate, but we'll do the same shit to you over here because that serves our purpose. But it's like, no, bullshit is bullshit. Like, I don't believe in censoring information, but I also know that like Facebook, Instagram, these are not public or they're not like a government ran thing. Like it's not like it's a free service, but you sign up, you put your information in, and it's a company that they can censor if they want to. That is their right to run that company and give the information the way that they like. But the thing where that gets fucked up is that they have so much pull with people because it's such a highly used thing. So they really could skew things because they could push the content that they want to, which really could sway voters, sway a lot of stuff. So that's where it probably gets into like a little bit of dangerous territory. But do I think that the government should regulate it? I don't know. I don't think the government should regulate a whole lot.
Well, and this isn't even theoretical. Okay, so Trump had nothing to do. We all know Trump's a loudmouth, right? And I think most of it's freaking hilarious. But he's a loudmouth, like
Yeah.
it or not, right? A lot of people.
Yeah, there's stuff that he says sometimes where I'm like, did you really need to go there? But like,
Yeah.
it's funny, but like as the president, like, I don't know if that's really like a good idea.
But none of the departments were pressuring ABC to get rid of Jimmy Kimmel. Now, hold on. Okay, this is the part that is not theoretical. President Obama's White House, right, did, and it has been like Zuckerberg came out and said it, like we got pressured. Mark Zuckerberg, who owns Facebook, and Meta, which is Instagram and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
He said the Obama White House pressured us to be skewed one way. Now, where's
That's
the
so
outrage
fucked
there?
up.
Hold
That's
on.
so fucked up.
Hold on. I don't want censorship, whether it, just like Brittany said, whether it benefits me or it harms me, right? I'm for freedom of speech.
Yeah.
That's my belief. I think it's bullshit if the Republicans did it in this case, which they did not, even though the Democrats are saying they did, which is.
Well, but we know that they come up with all sorts of shit.
But it's
Some
lies.
People, fucking people, crazy.
Not to get political at minute freaking 32 on this podcast.
Is it 32? Wow.
I have no idea. I'm just making that up. Now I lost my thought.
You were saying that you're for free speech.
So
yeah.
The Republicans and the Trump White House didn't pressure ABC to fire Jimmy Kimmel. If they did, I would say that's bullshit. That's not right.
Yeah.
The Obama White House did pressure Facebook, and it's been proven in court. Zuckerberg said this is what happened. Where's the outrage? But no, it's different because it's our side. It's our side,
so we're not going to. It's like either you believe what you say or you don't. That's the thing that pisses me off.
I have the same problem with these conservatives that say, "Oh no, I don't vote for any higher taxes. Oh, but if it benefits me and my union, then I'm for it."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, either you believe what you say or you don't.
I say I don't believe in more taxes ever, and I have never voted once in my life, and I will say this until the day I die, that I
Yeah.
have ever voted for anything that increases taxes. Or
Yeah.
another like little game they like to play is, oh well, it won't increase your taxes at all, but it just extends the term of what you're currently paying. I vote no for that shit too. I wouldn't care if they said, Ryan and Brittany, we're going to buy you a new house with this new tax increase. Keep it.
Yeah.
I don't
Fuck
want it.
you.
I don't want it.
No. No, because I think that's integrity. Like, that's what I like. People all the time are like, well, what you see is what you get. Like I said, I'm not for everybody. I'm not freaking for everybody, but I am who I am. And same with Ryan, like we're very bold in our beliefs, but we've been the same since we were probably 12. Like, this is who
I
we
had
are.
the same argument 30 years ago.
I started voting
school.
when I was 18 years old. I was talking to my daughter about this last night because she's very interested in history and she was going through the presidents. She went all the way from Trump all the way back to Nixon. And she was asking me what I knew about all of them. We were talking about it and she was asking me about voting and all this stuff. I have voted in every election since I was 18 years old. And I have never voted for a tax increase. And I have never voted on like a single issue thing. Like I just like meaning like a president that like maybe he's for this one thing that I'm like, or oh, they're cool or whatever. Like I've always voted for like the person that I think has like the biblical principles and values like overall that I think should be in the leadership, right, for this country. But it's like these people that are like, well, I don't like what Trump said. It's like, fuck that. Like, yeah, he says a lot of crazy shit. But like, as far as like leadership, and this isn't a Trump thing, because I don't want to invite a bunch of that like crazy shit if people listen to this. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go down, I guess, a whole, even though we went political. I don't want to go down that.
Political.
Yeah, we did. But it's, I think too, I don't know how you could be a business owner and not really be political, because the thing is like they just freaking gouge you with taxes and stuff. And I like, for all of our people in Oregon, like I hate it because that state and its leadership is, I don't know how anybody's going to survive in business there unless they just have such a high, profit that they can figure it out. But a lot of small businesses with the leadership, they're going to be taken out in the next couple of years because it's just shitty ass government and they don't get it. So,
well, and the problem with all these tax dollars is there's just such waste and fraud, right? Like Doge, here's a great example. Like,
yeah, this shit's bullshit.
Yeah, I voted for Trump. I think he's good. Like he's great, whatever. But Doge, right, came in like, oh, all high, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and it's like, where's all the money that we saved, right?
Yeah.
Where are the people being held accountable for all this fraud and loss? Like, I need trials. I need people behind bars.
I want people in prison. Yeah.
Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, listen to this podcast. This is your money. This is my money that's just being wasted. I guarantee you, if you saw your kid throw $20 in the toilet and flushed it, you'd be pissed off. I don't care who you are.
Totally pissed. Yeah.
Right? That's exactly what's happening to our
this
money.
Isn't a party issue. This is the people and the government issue.
On a massive scale. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're just continuing to print more money without getting completely out into the weeds, to where the value of our dollar is completely going down.
And then too, like even, and like Ryan,
money. They just want more and more and more. Where it never ends.
Well, and like you said, Ryan, like, yeah, like we voted for Trump. I have no problem saying that. If like, I don't, and also it's also nobody's fucking business too, who anybody votes for. Like that is something that we get to do as citizens of the United States. We get to vote. And so I think that you don't have to tell anybody who you voted for and you don't have to prove it to anybody. So I'm just willing to say, yeah, but doesn't mean that we're all crazy. We're not these like crazy Trumpers, like he's going to save the world. Like, I don't believe that. I think he's the lesser of two evils. Like, and I think that he's a good businessman and for the most part. So I thought, I think that's our best option. And obviously the people agreed because he's elected. He did not buy this. He did not scam his way into this. The people voted for him. But what was my point in that I was going to say? But I think that the older I get, I lose so much faith in government. That's why I want as little government as possible, because I think that the power, it's just, there's no justice. Like they're like, oh yeah, we've exposed all this shit. But like you said, it's like, okay, but what are you doing about it?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is anybody doing about it? Like, oh, great. It's almost worse. It's like, I would have rather had my head buried in the sand about all this. Like, we know it's happening, but now you've actually literally shown that it's happening and discovered it. And there's nothing being done about it. If I freaking made one mistake and broke the law, guaranteed I'd be on fucking trial for it. But these fuckers in Washington are doing horrible shit, lining their pockets. They're getting rich off of all this stuff and all of our money, but they're just like going to their Martha's Vineyards house. Like, what is that? Like, that is such bullshit. Like, I don't know how people aren't completely outraged, but here's the reason why. I'm going to tell you, which I think you'd probably agree with me on this, Rye, is because life isn't bad enough yet for anybody. Because it's still too good. I guarantee if people didn't have food, if they couldn't afford to do stuff anymore, shit would be getting fucking wacky. But it's just not that bad yet. And I hope it never gets that bad. I hope we turn a corner before it gets that bad because, this government is so fucking corrupt. Good, like Republicans, Democrats, they're all fucking bad in my opinion.
Yeah, both of them, for sure.
Like, I'm not so freaking naive. Like, I think some people, like even a lot of our like conservative friends, it's like, you cannot say that, oh, it's the Republicans are all wonderful because they're not. Like, I think that if anybody gets into that position in Washington, I'm not talking about presidential, I'm talking about our Congress, everything. If you get that high in politics and you get elected, you've got fucking skeletons in the closet. Like, you're doing shit and making deals to get there that and they're just seeking out power and money. I really think that we should just start over. Wouldn't that be great? Like, everybody, your term is up. You're out. Go on vacation. Like, fuck off, and we're going to elect all new people. Like, get the fuck out of here. These 80-year-olds in freaking Congress, like, who? Yeah, what? Like, what? Go to the doctor and, like, be done. Like, be done. You're done.
It's enough already.
It's enough. Like, Nancy Pelosi, like, she looks like a skeleton propped up. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, the most extreme example is Biden, right? It's like,
Yeah.
My opinion is that he wasn't mentally well for a lot of his presidency, but that's what it came to. That, there was people behind him figuratively and literally that propped him up.
And we're like, go this way, sir.
Like
you're going
the auto pen and everything else, right? Like this, like, hold on. So the people voted for this man, Joe Biden, but if he's not well, if he can't make a decision, right? Like him or not, he was the president, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
If he's not the one that's making the decisions, and we could get into a whole thing about, well, they have a cabinet and they have this and they have that, and there's an argument for everything, right? But it's like, can we just stop with that and go, listen, the guy wasn't well, okay?
Well, and then this is what pisses me off.
I've been following Joe Biden because I've been following politics since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Right? And he's been Uncle Joe in a freaking disaster forever, right?
Oh, he's been saying wacky shit since he was totally coherent.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Anyway, so, I guess that was it. Like, who, I don't remember where I was.
Well, but this is what pisses me off, is that there are people, that are part of that party that are like, no, he was fine. It's like, stop.
It's like,
stop. Like, this isn't like a Democrat Republican thing. This is like a human thing. And like, that person's not fit for the job. Like, how are we even arguing that? Like, this is just not even, it just doesn't even make any sense. But it's like they're towing the party line so freaking hard that they can't even admit when something is wacky as shit. It's crazy. It's like, what is wrong with people?
I think that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Huh?
It's just crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and we, obviously, we've shown that we lean to the right? But there's people on that side too that are the same way. It's like, why? How are you just blindly following these people?
Yeah, like they'll defend Trump to like the dying day.
It's like, if somebody does something bad, then they did something bad.
Yeah, like there was something Trump said a while ago, and I told Ryan, I don't like that. I don't like that. I said, because here's the deal. Because I will, and like I said this until my dying day, this is another big value I have as an American, is that I believe in the power belongs to the people. And I don't think that when presidents are like, I'm signing an executive order that, it's like the Constitution, in my opinion, is perfect and it's intentional and it's for a reason. And this is why it's really important to know your history, because every single thing in that Constitution is for a purpose. And we need to honor it exactly as it's written as a country. And the people need to know it, and our kids need to know it. And like, It's really, really important. It should be being freaking taught in schools every single year. Everybody should know our Constitution. And there was something that he said that I was that's infringing a little bit on the Constitution for me. And I'm not gonna toe the party line so hard that I'm like, oh no, Trump's great. No, if he's saying shit that's wacky, I'm okay admitting it. It's like, I don't think that we should, like you said, we don't need to be following these people like they're God.
No, I don't think so.
How did we get onto this?
I don't.
Obviously, we get real passionate when it comes to this. But yeah, I don't know, because it's stuff that we have it's our values. And it's people, and it's also our frustrations, right? Because people are so they're just wacky, man.
Yeah, people are wacky.
They don't think. They don't stop and think. You brunettes really need to get it together.
Yeah, and you dirty teeth people.
Brush your teeth and put some highlights in. Hey, I think my gums are getting better.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's that. I really was, the whole purpose of that, really, without all that rant, was I was curious what you thought about that Jimmy Kimmel thing. Cause that's kind of, it's like, it's been a really tough week. The Charlie Kirk thing was wild. And I think too, like, going back to our faith in government and due processes, I was like, is this guy really it? And there's a lot of people out there with conspiracy theories of like, it's just a scapegoat. It's just a fall guy. It's just a patsy. But I'm like, well, all the evidence is kind of showing like, this seems like a legitimate, like they got the guy. But who knows?
The thing that Brittney and I also talk about, because as you can tell, we get heated with politics, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't go our way. And there's bad things in the world. There always has been. There always will be, right? But what we fall back on is our faith in Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, like, there is bad stuff in the world. We're not going to be able to stop that, right? But it's our faith in Jesus that sustains us through all this stuff, because it's like, yeah, maybe it sucks, but it's like, we're going to make the best of it. We're still going to go to baseball and football and soccer and track or cross country and band and all the stuff we do.
Yeah.
Right. And we're still going to have our little family unit. And what we try to teach our kids is to be strong, to be independent thinkers, right? To not just join a group because your friends are in there, or they maybe think a lot of what you do. It's like, think for yourself, right? Be strong, be bold, speak out, speak up for stuff when it's not right.
Yeah.
Okay? But control what we can control.
Absolutely.
Right? We can't control anything in Washington. I'm not going to get into a whole thing about how your vote and all this. Like, forget that, right? You can't control it.
Yeah.
Vote biblical principles, right? We heard that in church one day, which I really believe in.
Yeah.
Vote biblical principles. And they give it to God, man, because we can't control it. And if you just get completely wound up in the Democrats or the Republicans or Fox News or MSNBC or all that stuff, you will go mad.
Yeah.
You can't control it. And
I think we're seeing a lot of that, and we've seen it on both sides. And I think people need perspective. And, I remember my brother one time was getting all irritated about something going on. It was years ago. And I said, well, but you can't really control it. And this was me as like a teenager, like, well, what really could you do about that if that was going to happen? And I remember he was like, you're not very smart, are you? But actually, I'm really fucking smart, because you can't control these. As one human being, you cannot control these big outcomes or these things that are in motion. And so, like Ryan said, you got to control the controllables. And I believe too, our time on this earth is fleeting, right? It's going to be here. It's going to be gone. We don't know how long we have. So like, you can't let these things of men, of the flesh, just completely take over your whole world. Like, our legacy that's going to be left on this earth when we're gone is our children. And, one thing that I think is interesting that I was talking to Ryan about last week is when Charlie Kirk was murdered. It was last Wednesday, I believe. So many moms, on social media were saying, oh, I just can't believe we're raising our children in this world. What world are we leaving them with? And blah, blah, blah. And, I have a friend who we were talking, and she's also like a big feeler. And I said, people have been killing each other since the beginning of time. This isn't a gun problem, in my opinion. It's a human problem. And my daughter was even like, well, guns. And I go, I could take my car and drive it into a crowd of people and kill a bunch of people. Should we not have cars? I said, this is a condition of the heart. Right. And, I just think that I know it's our goal as parents is we need to raise really strong humans who are going to do good things on this planet and affect change. And we can't have a man be at the center of that, like leading us. It has to be God. You have to, or whatever you call it. I hear that a lot, just in the work that we do. We're involved with a bunch of coaches and they try to be really like not polarizing with that. But we have to all acknowledge that there's a higher power than us. And there's reason and purpose behind all of it. And so as long as we're letting that guide us, I think that is what we need to focus on and not like, what did Donald Trump say on Twitter this week? Like, who cares? Like, whatever. It's funny. It's entertainment. Like, use that stuff as entertainment, but like, you cannot let it completely control your life.
Because just like we saw, last week, you're here 1 minute and you are gone the next.
Yeah,
it's a big deal for 24 or 48 hours, and then the world moves on. Doesn't matter how big you are.
That's the thing. That's the thing is the world moves on. It does. And like things that happen in our world, like in our own personal world, can seem like a really big deal, And the Charlie Kirk assassination was I don't know if I think people overuse words. I don't know if I want to say devastating. It was really devastating to a lot of people. I don't know if it devastated me. It made me really sad. And I was like, wow. Because it just kind of humanizes us a little bit because I think that we take for granted. Like everybody thinks they're going to live to be 100. It's like he was 31 years old. He was a young father and a husband. And, but like I told my kids, I said, well, he was a huge believer. And I said, he's okay. He's fine. He's in heaven. He's probably, talking with all sorts of people that went before him. But it's always sad for the people on earth because we're here still to deal with, what now. And I think he was a really inspirational figure, but I do think that God takes everything that we might see as bad and he uses it for good. He turns everything into good. And I don't think that Charlie Kirk maybe would have had as big of an impact as he's even having in the last week. Right. I've seen him all over the place. People are talking about it. And, I think it gave a lot of people courage to speak up and really own their faith too, which is a huge blessing. So I do think that we'll see a lot of positive come out of it.
Well, and the only thing what we do know for sure is that everybody has their time. And this was Charlie's time. He was never meant to be 32.
Yeah, because that's the other thing.
And then he was meant to leave, right? Because everything is in the plan. So
yeah, God has a plan. And that's what, we teach our kids too, is because it is hard. I think when you have kids and they see things, because our kids were like, Charlie Kirk got shot. Like, whoa, like, and they're little, our kids are young. And that's kind of like a thing that's happened in their world. It's like, what is going on?
Well, and I also thought it was interesting. They knew about him. We weren't telling them about Charlie Kirk. Like we weren't saying, hey, look at this video. It's so cool.
Yeah.
They knew of him because of the impact he had on these younger people. And we also had friends whose kids were like, took it really hard. So
yeah.
It really had an impact on the younger people.
And so I think it's our job as parents to really help them walk through these things because it is emotional. It's scary. It's scary as a kid. As an adult, you get older and you see things happen. Like 9/11 was scary. It was like, oh my God, like what now? Like, are they going to hit all of our major cities? Like what's going on? We're going to war. That's scary when you're a kid. But the older you get, you have more wisdom and experience with these types of things. And I think it's our duty as parents to really help them walk through it biblically, emotionally, helping them really like talking through the different stuff with them. But I had a point with that. I don't know. It went out of my mind, but I think that going back to like how I saw these parents really kind of this outcry of like, what are we leaving our children to is I think that it is our duty as parents to raise tough kids because the world is tough. So our kids have to be able to do hard things because you can't protect them from everything. So like as their children, we need to be raising them with like to be tough, to have high standards, to be good people because you can't just protect them and then when they're 18 go just turn them out into the world. The world is not nice. The world will freaking knock you down. So you can't raise these weak kids. And I see a lot of times, even in the school systems, these parents protecting kids all the time. Like somebody said something to my kids and, they're being mean. And this boy said something. And we're not talking, you guys, we're not talking about systematic bullying or systemic bullying, systematic, whatever the fuck they say. We're not talking about like true bullying. We're talking about boys flipping each other's shit in the locker room. It's like, that is, I mean, I can't speak to it, but Ryan, you could, but like, and I have like brothers and a lot of boy cousins. I'm pretty sure it's part of just being a male, being raised up. And it's not fun and easy. And yeah, guys are dicks, but like kind of part of the deal, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it can cross a line to it, eventually,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just part of the deal, man. You gotta be tough. Boys and
Yeah.
girls gotta be
Our
tough.
son, he's tall, he's cute, he's athletic. He gets picked on. Like you would think, oh, if you're fat, you're going to get picked on. Well, you're going to get picked on if you're skinny. You're going to get picked on if you're ugly. You're going to get picked on if you're cute. You're going to get picked on if you're a bad athlete. You're going to get picked on if you are a good athlete. They will find anything and pick on you for it because that's the world.
That's the world. Yeah,
That's the
but what?
deal.
Yeah, so like the moms were saying, oh, our kids for a time like this, it's so hard. We're gonna leave them this world or whatever. What you said was they were just like Charlie Kirk wasn't meant to be meant to be 32, right? There was a
Yeah.
specific time he was supposed to be here. Our kids, all of our kids, are specifically born for this time,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
We were not
Absolutely.
supposed to be kids in this time because we were kids back in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
These kids are specifically here for a purpose. So when you raise them to think for themselves and be strong, be bold, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we need in this world is leaders.
Yeah. We do. We need leaders. And we need people because I think, you know, just even when like COVID was going on and talking about faith and all that stuff, I think what we saw is a lot of weak fucking people, like pastors that just went along with it. And it was like, and just weak men that were like, we're just going to go along with it because we don't want to rock the boat. Like just weak ass people that were like, well, I don't agree with it, but I'm going to go with it anyways because I don't want to, it's like, I have a lot of respect for you, Ryan, because you were like, I know who I am. I know what I believe in, and I'm not freaking subscribing to that bullshit, and I'm not doing it.
Mm-mm.
And I was like, I don't really agree with it, but I also would outwardly say, I'll wear a mask in the grocery store because I don't want to deal with it. Like, I just don't want to deal with people. But whatever, especially when I have like my little kids with me grocery shopping and I don't want to deal with some fucking nut job coming up and like accosting us. Like
And there
that's
was a
not worth
lot
it
of
to
them.
me.
There
There
was a
was a
lot
lot
of
of
them.
them. Yeah.
Yes.
Especially with where we lived. And like I remember I ran into a gal in the grocery store that she would take all my spin classes and was awesome. And I was like, hey, how are you? And it was before the mask mandate. She literally jumped away from me like I had a gun pointed at her. Like it was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like it did something to people's minds,
Mm-hmm.
and really, I think whenever we see all this reaction stuff, it's just out of fear. It's just out of fear, which tells me that fear actually, I believe, comes from a lack of faith. Because if you really truly had a lot of faith in who you are, what you believe in, and a bigger plan, you wouldn't be so scared of all this shit. You know? Like I'm trying to think of what I'm really like fearful of. I'm not saying I'm not scared of shit because I definitely am, but like not a fucking virus. And I was like, huh, I don't know, just weird. I don't want to get into all the COVID shit because it was a
No,
while
that's
ago, but
old news now.
old news. Now it's just
But remember,
crazy
you
shit.
touched on this earlier. History is very important, right? So
Very
we need
important.
to remember that all this stuff was going on, and all these people are like, you have to get vaccinated, you have to do this, you have to wear a mask, and now it's all been proven to be bullshit. People did get sick with COVID, right? I'm
Yeah,
not saying
absolutely.
I'm
COVID
not
was real.
saying COVID didn't get people sick,
Hmm.
but for the most part, how it was extreme and it was this and it was that, it was like,
Oh,
nope.
some of those news channels were acting like bodies were lined up in the street.
Yeah. So remember this, right? When something else happens, like, I don't know if I'm going to take this person's word for it
Yeah.
because they're on this news station. Or I don't know if I'm going to take this person's news, because they voted for this person, right?
Yeah.
Think for yourself.
Critically
for
think, like
yourself.
do the research, like critically think. And
Don't be lazy.
no, you can't just go, this person said it, so I believe it. Like, that's dumb. Like, even if Ryan
That's
and I are saying
dangerous. Forget
anything, it's
dumb. That's
dangerous,
dangerous.
very dangerous. Like, we actually will watch multiple news channels. I'm not really super into the news that much. Ryan will. And Ryan reads a lot of different like literature from different standpoints and things, and he likes to do that. But that's the thing too, is I would say if you're getting all your information just from one person all the time, just one source, that's really like a dangerous place to be, because then you're open to manipulation. I'd say that in the business world too, with stuff, is if you're only listening to kind of one thing and not like doing market research and looking around. I'm trying to tie this back into business because I'm like, how did we get here? How did we get here, Ryan?
It was that we went the scenic route.
We did. But I think this has been fun. People will either love us for it or hate us. So, whatever.
Either way.
Freedom of speech. This is our podcast. We can say whatever the fuck we want because we don't have an HR company at the revenue agency. Probably one of the best lines I've ever heard. We were working at a company, and the like VP of the company was like giving a talk from stage, and he's like, and we don't have an HR company, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. But at the time that was so refreshing. It was so refreshing. I was like, that's awesome. Because also, I mean, even, when I was building my business in Optavia, I have such a no bullshit type of way that I am. And it's just how I think and my natural way of communication. But I had people tell me, you can't talk like that. You can't say that to them. I had a mentor actually tell me one time, well, when you learn how to communicate in this way, that's when you'll go presidential. It's like now that I'm out of it and removed, so much crazy manipulative shit that people do to control people. Like they say stuff, they try to manipulate them. They act like they're your friend and they're not. Like it's just wild. But you know what? A lot of times the root of all this is money and power, money and control. Yeah. That's why it's
a network marketing company, whether it's the government, whether it's church.
Pastors. Yep.
Yeah.
People want power and they want money. And so you have to be really careful. And that's the thing too, like Ryan said, like critically think. So yeah, that's really, it's just important to remember that, there was something like something popped up on my computer and distracted me. What I will say, and I posted about this last week, is I have had mentors, bosses that were all in for me, loved me, because here's the thing is when I get into a company, I move and shake, man. I freaking get results. I make shit happen. But then if I change my mind and I am going to pivot in my life because of what's best for our family, and I've never fucked anybody over, ever, ever, ever. I've done everything out of integrity and I will stand by every decision I've made and openly discuss it. But every time that I've made a decision like that maybe could, negatively affect them because of income, and I'm somebody who creates income in a business, they were so pissed at me, talked bad about me, tried to get people to believe lies about me. And I actually think that's why this gal this morning was like, did they know that you're doing that? I was like, what the fuck are you even, I think it's all that because when I left that company very respectfully, very politely, very much like, is there anything I can do to make this easier? Blah, blah, blah. They just had to save face because they're the asshole. And people were like, what kind of company are you running where they would leave? So then it looked bad on them. Yeah. Why would a good person that's making really good money with you leave? What did you do? And then spin a whole fucking lie about me. Like I'm doing all this bad shit. It's like, whatever, dude. But, it's unfortunate. But once again, it comes back to money and control, and people will control the narrative. And then you know what? Here's the thing, if you're fucking stupid enough to believe it, then you belong together, right?
Or not reach out and figure it out, right? Because we don't know everything all the time, but you can find out. There's more information now than there ever has been in the history of the world, and people are dumber now than they've ever been in the history of the world. So
they really are.
Thoughts, right? Don't be lazy. Figure it out for yourself. Think. Look at different perspectives. Look at different points of view. Hey, this person said this, but this person's saying this. I'm going to talk to him and figure out what it is.
Yeah. Be resourceful. We say that in business all the time. Be resourceful. Go find the answer. Go ask a question. That's the thing I love that Bob Proctor would say is, people mistake mental activity for thinking. He's like, most people never think. And I think that's what we see a lot of is we see people who are lazy. We see people with short attention spans. We have so much going on and so much access to information. That's the thing. That's why Charlie Kirk, even though you're still seeing stuff, but it has dramatically increased and it's only been a week, you guys. It's only been a week. And people aren't probably really interested anymore. They've already moved on to Jimmy Kimmel. Like, so that's what we're seeing. And I guess it's positive in one way that you know that if you have drama in your life, the shit will blow over. So just keep your head down and keep know who you are. I've had to
unless
do a
your
lot of that.
unless your husband and dad was murdered
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
words. That
Yeah.
doesn't blow over.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Crazy world we're living in here, right?
It's always been crazy, but now there's just
Like,
so much information blasting us all the time. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter,
yeah.
the news. Like it's just constant.
Well,
Like
and
I don't even
it's
tell people.
funny. I think we were talking about this last week when all this stuff was going down. And I was like, read the Bible. Like, that's like the beginning times. The shit was fucking wacky back then. Like, my grandpa, so funny. My mom's dad used to say, yeah, read the Bible. It's the dirtiest book you'll ever read. Because there's some wacky shit in there. Like, people were messed up. And so, I just think it's funny when people are like, oh, our world's just getting crazier and crazier. It's like, no, it's not.
It's always been crazy.
Our technology has changed. Our tools and weapons and maybe resources have changed, but humans are the same. They are the same. And if you don't see that, you need to go read your Bible because, like, go read about Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, go read about that. Go read about how David had, like, how Saul was after him for years and years trying to murder him because of the influence he had. People have been murdering people of influence and who could create change and take them out of power since the beginning of time. Look at the snake, the serpent. He wanted power. That's the big first freaking story in the Bible of Genesis with Adam and Eve. He wanted power. And so he figured out a way to get it. That's the thing. It's like people don't that's like this be resourceful, like do your research, like think. The world is not worse. It's just different. Our technology has evolved, our resources have evolved, but humans are humans since the beginning of time. They're after power, they're after money, and it's just the way it is. Why are you laughing about that?
Which part? I don't know. It's just funny. It's just so true.
It is true. But I think people don't connect those dots a lot of times. But I would say that's probably, it's how my brain works. But I have a natural ability to recognize patterns in humans. So that's also why a lot of times in relationships, I'm like, I know how this shit's going to go. Like, I'm fucking getting out because this is your pattern. And I don't want to be a part of it. But yeah, but it's interesting. Like, read your Bible, like connect the dots. Humans are humans. And I use those same principles in business. I was telling somebody something. I was like, well, that doesn't surprise me. And they go, why doesn't it surprise you? And I go, because humans are typical. And the more that you understand that, because we all work with humans, the easier it kind of gets. And the more you can kind of remove yourself a little bit from stuff, like taking things personally or whatnot. But
probably one of the better things we've done over the last 10 years is learn more about human behavior and communication with humans. It makes things so much smoother if you understand people and how they work and how they think, because certain type of people think one way, other people think
behavioral stuff.
Yeah.
Don't you think, right, that
so
when we learned even about I think the disc is the most simple. It's the most simple. When we learned about that, I think first, this is the order I would do it in, learn about yourself. Because when you understand how you operate and the behaviors you have and how they affect others, that's the first step in consciousness because it's not that it's not right and that everybody should accept the way you are. That's not the point of it. It's that you need to be able to pivot in your methods to be able to have a bigger impact. So first learn about yourself, then learn about your spouse or your partner, whatever. Like when Ryan and I learned about each other, I think it actually solved we didn't have a lot of friction, but sometimes when we would work on projects together, we would get annoyed with each other because our methods were different. But then once we really learned a lot about each other from like a behavioral standpoint, we were like, that makes a lot of sense. And then I think it kind of became like, oh yeah, okay, like that's funny.
Like,
no wonder
they're doing it that way because that's how she works.
Yeah, and I was like, of course Ryan gets irritated if I ask him a question because he's a really like big analytic. And I'm just curious. But so it's like not a personal attack. I'm just asking questions. And he's like, why would you even ask me that? Like, of course I've thought of everything, so it's really good. And then, once you really kind of master that stuff, then you can learn about your kids and kind of recognize things in them so that you can, I just like have more, what am I looking to say? Like where it's more fruitful in a way.
Yeah, just
It's
more
easier.
understanding and more like connection, and it just makes things smoother.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, as far as working with your teams, oh my goodness, it's
Oh,
crazy.
don't you think that's one of the biggest problems that we see in businesses, right? Is that people do not know how to communicate.
Yeah.
Like you guys, I work with business owners, some of these business owners, and their communication style, I'm like, this is bad. Like, I don't know if you know how you're coming across right now, but you're coming across like a freaking jerk. Like you could get so much further communicating in a different way. But once again, I think it's ego. I think people have to be that they're right. They have to, show their position. They have to show that they didn't mess up and who can they blame? Like it's crazy, crazy. I actually had a very, very refreshing meeting yesterday with someone who's a contractor in a business that we're also contractors in. We share a client, and I've been kind of hard on this guy. He has a different style than me. He's just different than I am. I'm probably much more dominant in a way than he is. And I see some stuff he's doing. I'm like, why didn't you get it done faster? Why do you this? Why do you that? Like from an operation standpoint, I'm like, I don't think you know what the fuck you're doing. But so I've been hard on him. And here's the thing is I will eat my words all day long. If I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong. But we had a really great meeting yesterday. And I told Ryan, I was like, I was kind of hard on that guy. Like we were kind of resetting. Because he, for the first time in a long time, I was dealing with a male in the industry that wasn't ego driven. And I don't think I realized that because the pattern with men have been so much of like, they got to piss on their territory and you got to know that they know what they're doing and they've made income and they've done this and that. And I realized this guy has no income. And he told me, he was like, I'm a big fan of, he has no ego. What did I say? Income. I meant ego. Sorry. He actually told me, I don't even think I told you this, right? He's like, I'm a big fan of you and like the work you do. And I think you're really great at what you do. And I thought, I have never had another contractor talk to me like that before and actually kind of like give me credit in a way. And who knows, maybe he's a master manipulator and he's like, this is her love language. I'm going to tell her how great she is. I'm going to feed her ego.
It worked.
Yeah, it totally worked. I was like, bingo. No, but, yeah, but I was like, wow, I have been probably treating some people certain ways and not giving them the benefit out of the doubt because of like things that I've experienced with other people and kind of wounds that other people have given, right? In business and stuff. But it was really refreshing. Very refreshing. I don't know why I brought that up.
So it would be good to go into a relationship without your previous experiences
and preconceived notions, probably.
Yeah.
I can be a judgy bitch. We know it. Like, I'm like, what's with the hair, man? Like, what are we doing here? That's all probably shit from my parents too. Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
Well, you thought there was something wrong with you in the beginning because you liked me and I had long hair.
When you were younger, yeah. I had a total crush on Ryan. I was probably like 15, 16. He was a truck driver for my dad. And I was like, I think he's cute.
I was
because everybody else that worked for my dad was like 50-year-old chain smokers, like with a beer gut. And Ryan was like, he had like longish curly hair. He'd wear a cowboy hat and tight ass Wranglers and a cutoff shirt. And I was like, I don't know. I like something about that. But like something's got to be wrong with me because A, he's got long hair and B, he's a truck driver. Like I was like, my parents would totally be like, what the fuck is wrong with her? But landed it.
Here we are 17 years plus later.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Crazy how things come together. Well, this has been fun, right?
Yeah, this has been
I'm not sure we should post this. This is crazy. You said some well, not you. I said some crazy shit today.
I think we both really spoke our mind today.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the deal. People either like it or they won't. And you know what's cool is that that's okay. Like if people don't like it, like that's cool. Just like don't listen. Like I don't want you to get all upset and wild. Like just don't listen. Just turn it off.
Yeah.
Like is that fucking hard? Like everybody's so damn weak these days. They're like, I'm offended. You need to die because I'm offended. It's like, go fuck yourself. Like if you don't like me, fucking turn it off.
Yeah. I
You
can't.
like me? Come back next time. Like, let's hang out. But like, who gives a shit? Like, people just take shit too
Well, and
seriously.
I think they also get confused, like, because a person is offended that it's our responsibility. I didn't offend you. You are offended by what I said. That's your problem,
Yes.
right?
And we cannot be so fucking weak that words create such a massive reaction. Like, you have to learn how to filter that. Like, I'm going to tell everybody out there, like, if somebody says something that you don't like, and obviously people say shit all fucking day to me that I don't like this bitch on the thing, like, fuck her, you know, like, it pissed me off. I was like, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm just trying to do something here and you're being a bitch to me. Like, it makes me mad. But here's the other deal. I can just I deleted it out of my chat because I thought I don't even want to see her name because I'm pissed every time I see it. And I thought I'm just gonna let it go. Let it go. Because it, like, Ryan's like, forget it. Who cares? Move on. And I'm like, he's right. I can't give this more energy because obviously I've got a lot of energy around it. It really pissed me off. But then there's just so much better stuff to focus on. So if somebody's words piss you off, turn the channel. Turn the channel. Like, I have so many people blocked on social media because I'm like, I don't like what you talk about. You post stuff that's negative, that's messy, and like, I don't want to see it. So I just delete. I'm out. Like, that's it. So it's my advice for you today. You don't like it, change the channel. You like it, keep the channel on. Come back next time because this train's rolling, baby.
This is going to keep going.
Yeah, this was kind of fun. I like this. So if you liked it,
Like it. If you liked
if
it,
you
like it.
like it, subscribe, come back next time. A lot of times we do talk business, but like I said, life and business really bleed together. What's going on in the world is a part of, just what's going on. So we're going to talk about all of it because I do think, honestly, in my heart, I do think this is what we're here to do. I know it's what I'm here to do. I know it's been my life message kind of like in my brain for a long time, and I've been too scared to do it. I've been too scared to say exactly what I think because I'm afraid it's going to push people away. But maybe I'm getting over that.
It'll probably push some away,
Some,
but it will
but am I
definitely attract some as well.
attract the right people? That's right, man. That's right. All right. I think we did it. And does it sound like I'm yelling to you?
When you're yelling, it sounds like you're yelling.
All right. Okay.
Okay, this thing's crash landing.
Toodaloo.